Barney. And starting in fourth, out of Denver, Colorado, the Corpac Merchandising 5W of Ryan Conium. Starting in third in the 67X out of Kokomo, Indiana, the law firm Parker Price Miller. And on the front row, downtown Mitch Brown in car number 10. And on the pole out of Elk Grove, California, the 57 of Kyle Larson. On your feet, wave these drivers on. They're 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the Cool Kids Ice and Water Corpac Merchandising Sprint Cars. White flag being displayed next time by. We're going green flag racing. 25 laps the distance for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Corpac Sprint Cars. The Strickland GMC Pace Truck ready to pull off. 12 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. Kyle Larson, Mitch Brown on the front row. Kyle McKenzie with double greens in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation. A wild start down at the corners 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 wide. They go down into the backstretch, 4 wide mid-pack.
Everybody gets sorted out down the back straightaway. There's lane changes going on everywhere. Mitch Brown going to lead lap number 1.
Downtown, Mitch Brown on the outside of Kyle Larson. Larson goes up high in 2. Here comes Brown looking low, and here comes the law firm. Parker Price Miller on the outside.
Everybody bunches up off of turn number 2. They're still bunched together in 3 and 4, and it's Kyle Larson with the spot.
Parker Price Miller now to the second spot. He'll dive down in low. Here comes Larson back down the banking. He'll grab the lead down the back chute.
Slide job by Parker Price Miller, but Kyle Larson had the antidote. Now Larson going to come up to the middle of the track. Not quite a slide job as Miller back to the outside.
Don't know how he finds the room, but Parker Price Miller does it and gets by for the lead. Kyle Larson tucks back into that second spot. Mitch Brown now in third as we work it down the backstretch and across the stripe to complete lap number 4.
Out in front is Parker Price Miller working the outside. There's not a lot of racetrack left when they come off the corner. Before they get to the outside wall here in turn 4, turn number 2 looks to be the same, flirting with the concrete.
The law firm, Parker Price Miller, right around the outside line. He is so good up there. That's how he won the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Kyle Larson in tow in second spot. Mitch Brown running third. Racing Jason Barney, the first car down to the inside line, trying to make hay on Mitch Brown.
Deeper in the field, Dylan Westbrook having a great battle with Ryan Conium for position, but out in front, it's Parker Price Miller showing the way, just a few car lengths ahead of Kyle Larson.
Side by side is Barney and Brown right now. Barney trying to work that inside line. Brown committed to the middle and top grooves as the dude. Danny Lasowski right now is inside the top 5, and Dylan Westbrook making his way to the inside of Jared Zimbardi for 6th.
Dylan Westbrook trying to make his way forward as Parker Price Miller to the outside of a few lap cars. Kyle Larson going to try it down at the bottom. Neither of them were able to get around all of them, and both of them get cut off on the front stretch.
Wow, good battle up front between Parker Price Miller and Kyle Larson as they work it down the back stretch. It's a straightaway back to Jason Barney, who has now taken over third, Mitch Brown in fourth, and Danny Lasowski fifth.
The battle rages on. Parker Price Miller has gotten through the lap traffic. Look at Kyle Larson thread the needle. Drives to the bottom looking for the lead.
2 cars out in front, very evenly matched. Larson trying the bottom side as Parker Price Miller is about as far out as one could get right now. Right up against the wall across the stripe. He leads lap 10.
Kyle Larson going to head back to the top of the racetrack and try to track down Parker Price Miller, playing his own game. Working that outside groove. Getting around another lap car. Kyle Larson does the same.
I don't know. I thought I saw sparks out of the 67 of Parker Price Miller. We'll keep our eyes on it as he goes through the corner again. Maybe it was not, but right there in his tire tracks. Kyle Larson as they continue to lap cars.
Kyle Larson a little bit better, it looks like, through 1 and 2. Parker Bryce Miller might have the advantage in 3 and 4, but as you can see, Larson finding a bit of a different groove there coming off the corner.
They are right up there around the rim. 12 complete this time by. We'll see the cross flags from starter Kyle McKenzie. It's over a straightaway back to Jason Barney right now running in third. Mitch Brown is fourth, and Jared Zimbardi has worked his way into the top 5.
So Larson, what he just did, he backed the car into turn number 3, lifted and drove right down the banking to the bottom of 4. Let's see if he does the same thing here and if he can get a run. No, he's going to just drive to the bottom of 3 and 4 and look for the lead that way.
Searching everywhere he can to get an advantage. He pulls a little bit closer this time to the back end of Parker Price Miller as Max Johnson is right in front of the leaders.
Parker Price Miller still leading the way in the 67 as they race into turn number 3. He's going to follow the tire tracks of Max Johnson through the corner. Kyle Larson again driving to the inside, this time at the line.
Still Parker Price Miller, but here comes Larson. He washes up the banking in 2. Miller had to get on the binders there, and that slows him up. So Larson leads it now down to the inside through 3 and 4. Parker Price Miller burns it off of corner number 3.
We thought it was coming all night long. They've used up the racetrack, so you've really got to find the edge but not step over. You wind up off the banking. Parker Price Miller actually did a good job getting back on the track without losing more ground than he did.
Miller right there in behind. Leader Kyle Larson as they come across the stripes. They complete lap number 17. Heavy traffic for the leaders. Larson right up in front of Max Johnson.
Now Max Johnson did something that Parker Price Miller was unable to do that lap. He came back down the track and got a better drive off the corner than the race leader Kyle Larson. Whoa! Parker Price Miller squeezes around Steve Collins.
How did he get by the flying physician? He carved right through there somehow, and he keeps the leader in sights. Right now, Scott Kruder right in front of Kyle Larson. Miller goes back up to the top side.
And Miller, he's got a lot of faith in his competitors as he squeezes around the outside. They put a lap on the dude, Danny Lasowski.
Miller draws right up towards Larson. Now Larson squirts away down the backstretch. He passes Mikey Krutchka and Shane Ross. This time by lap number 20, the big high five from Kyle McKenzie.
5 laps to go for Kyle Larson as he pulls away from Parker Price Miller, but this race is far from over, folks.
Down the backstretch, they continue on, cutting through lap traffic as right now the battle for third. You've got the 87 of Jason Barney there, and fourth now is Dylan Westbrook. He's done a nice job to work his way into the top 5.
Jared Zimbardi and Mitch Brown right there to battle as well as the laps wind down.
Three laps left to go for Kyle Larson.
Tiptoeing through slower traffic, but look at Parker Price Miller. He's getting a run on the leader, Kyle Larson. 2 laps left this time, and they cross the line, and Parker Price Miller closes the gap.
That is what you call the edge, ladies and gentlemen, as he works the outside line. Larson does the same up in 1 and 2. They'll go down the backstretch, and this time by come to the white flag.
1 more lap to go when he comes out of turn number 4. Parker Price Miller dancing with disaster.
Gets just a little bit too high through 3 and 4. White flag is out for Kyle Larson in front of this one. Parker Price Miller in second. Jason Barney a distant third.
We've got one off. We've got one off in turns 3 and 4. We are going to go yellow. The yellow flag is out. Oh, boy.
Nearly green to checkers.
Well, that was Tom Hoopinen on the outside in the 21J for the Burbridge team, losing the handle on the outside with about a quarter lap to go. In this one, guys, they should be able to quickly push him off.
Folks, how about Ryan Susi, who started in the last row, drove his way up to the 7th position?
Well, they were just told on the one-way radio, within 5 we move lap cars to the back. That's going to put Parker Price Miller in the 67X right on the rear tail tank of Kyle Larson.
This isn't a situation where Kyle's been driving out and been dominant. We could see absolutely anything happen in this final lap, Adam.
Trying to sort out who's on the lead lap, folks. Kyle Larson in the 57 is the race.
With 1 lap left to settle it, Kyle Larson. Parker Price Miller, don't count Jason Barney out of this yet either. He's gotten it done here at Ohsweken Speedway before. Dylan Westbrook looking to make it 7 in a row. He sits back there in 4th. Coming back to the green flag, 1 lap to decide it. Kyle Larson, can he pick up his first career win at the Big O in his first visit?
He'll drive to the bottom of turn 4, looking for the forward bike. It's a nice jump on the start, and straight to the outside. It's Barney to the bottom of the track.
Oh, contact with Barney and Dylan Westbrook right in front of the pack. They stay green somehow through 3 and 4. The checkers will come out, and Kyle Larson picks up the win over Parker Price Miller. Dylan Westbrook comes home 3rd. Mitch Brown 4th, and 5th will be Jared Zimbardi.
Wow.
We'll go down to Lucas Oil Products Victory Lane and talk with our top 3. Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky, the official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway. He's out of the car. Let's hear it for Kyle Larson. Thank you, Lone Wolf Fireworks, for lighting up the sky. Highway 54 in Middleport, the official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway. First trip to the Big O. Handshake from Parker Price Miller. First trip to the Big O right here in Victory Lane, but it was far from easy. What a battle with Parker Price Miller.
Yeah, I knew he'd be good. I've watched videos of him, and he's been really good here. And his car had a lot of grip all night, and I knew he'd be the one I'd have to beat. And he got to the lead really quick and was ripping really hard up top. And once I got up there as high as he was, I was actually pretty even with him. And then it started getting really slick and slow off 4. And I made a mistake actually down the backstretch. I ran the bottom on accident just because I almost clipped the wall, and I gained time on him. So I was like, okay, we can run down there. And once we got to traffic, I was able to work it and get by him on the bottom. Awesome racetrack. This is one of the most fun tracks I've been to. It's super slick, technical. The moisture was basically off the track, so you had to find that. So a lot of fun racing with Parker, and thank all you fans for coming out, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Do you take anything from tonight that you can use towards tomorrow night, or is it just a clean slate?
No, I mean, I think in the videos I've watched this place, this track is always consistently slick, where you can run all over and you'll be on the very edge of the top or edge of the track there. So I think tonight's track will probably be similar to tomorrow, and it was good that we were fast.
Well, you've got a lot of wins this year. You've done something different. You've won in Canada now. Congratulations to Kyle Larson, the winner here tonight with the cool kids. Ice and Water Core Pack Sprint Cars. Parker Price Miller will bring you around to the front of the car. I know you're banged up from Friday night, but, man, that was one heck of a show you put on with Kyle tonight.
Yeah, I really wanted that one just because, Kyle's the best there is out there, and it'd just be really cool to beat him. But, my guys gave me a great car, and they fixed a lot of stuff from Friday night, and, still a little sore, and my arm kind of gets banged up there when I'm racing, but you just kind of don't think about it. But, still a good night, but, I like to win, and, but we're always good here at Ohsweken, and we'll try again tomorrow with the 410.
Who would you like to thank?
I just need to thank Miles Hill, Pam, Alex for letting me drive their car. You know, it's a pleasure to come up here and drive for them. It's just like family. It's a great car, great racetrack. So I like coming up here. I just need to thank all of them. Daryl, Braden, you know, everyone that puts their time into this. It means a lot.
Keep this guy on your mind. Parker Price Miller, he is one of the good ones coming up right now. And here's another one. He couldn't make it 7 in a row, but when you finish behind Kyle Larson and Parker Price Miller, that's still a pretty darn good night.
Oh, yeah, a real good night for us. Just after putting heat in the motor, we ended up hurting the motor, so I had to do a motor change right after heating the motor. And we really got to thank my crew and everyone who helped out to get that done in time to make it up for the heat race.
What happened there on that last lap? You and Jason Barney down in corner number 2. It was right up against the wall, but man, you came out of that unscathed somehow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he just topped the wall first or he just slowed down real quick, and I just couldn't get on the brakes soon enough to get around him. But kind of sucks. I think he probably would have beat us, but still happy coming home in 3rd.
You're coming back tomorrow night with a 410. How excited are you? This has to be like Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah, real excited. It's going to be the first time ever in the 410, so it's going to be a pretty cool experience and just have some fun with it and hope for the best.
There you have it. It wasn't 7 in a row, but it was another podium finish for D-Dub's Dylan Westbrook as he comes home 3rd behind Kyle Larson and the law firm Parker Price Miller. So that will do it from down here trackside. Don't forget to be back tomorrow night as Aero Express presents the Six Nations Showdown featuring the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series. We've also got the Dirt Car Sportsman here along with the mini stocks. 7:30 is race time. Make sure you're right back here for all the action. Ohswekenspeedway.com for all the information. So thank you to all the fans that came out tonight. A phenomenal evening. We couldn't do it without you, the fans. And on behalf of the Styres family, all the staff and the officials that make everything happen, and on behalf of my co-announcers, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, my name's Greg Kellnan saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow night.